Wanted to ask you your observations about what's going on in the last week or so around the league with fans getting involved in the game on the court, throwing objects, and just your concern level of what's happening and any reasons why you think it might be happening right now with so few fans in the building.
Um, I know teams around the league are starting to up their capacity on the number of fans that's there. I don't know why the fans are doing it, but it's totally uncalled for. We work hard. We come in every day. We dedicate ourselves to this. Whether a shot goes in or goes out, we still put the time and put the work in, and that's what it's our job to go out there and play basketball. So I don't know why fans do it. Seen the guy last night get tackled, by the way. Shout out to the security guard that tackled him. That was impressive. But other than that, I don't know why it's happening. I know the Kyrie situation with Boston, he played there and he left them and stuff, so they might feel a way about that. But other than that, it's just totally uncalled for. And we couldn't go to their workplace and do that to them, so they don't need to come to ours and do it to us.
Other than getting arrested, what risk do the fans bear by coming out onto the court in your workplace?
Just because you get arrested doesn't mean that you went to jail, though. I don't think that's people get arrested all the time, but they don't go to jail. So, I mean, just staying out the way. I just think fans just need to, cheer for their respective teams. Come to the games, cheer the players on. Obviously you can boo if you want to, if you're want to boo the opposing team and things like that. But throwing water bottles, running onto the floor, dumping popcorn on people's heads when they're walking to the tunnel, those things are totally uncalled for.
How would you react if it happened to you?
No, I just be cool. I dedicate myself to this. Been working hard all year, fighting towards something. Don't want to jeopardize myself getting suspended or getting money took out of my pocket that I earned, worked hard for. So it wouldn't matter to me. I would just try to shy away from it. Been in a lot of situations in this league in my 6 years, and just try to stay away from things like that. Even when fans talk smack or things like that, just a part of the game, man. Game within the game.
Eric's name.
Hey, Bobby. Giannis just told us he doesn't watch other games and stuff. I know you do. I'm hyped to watch CP and LeBron go at it tonight. What are you thinking about games wise? Like, is there a game that you're like hyped to watch? Like, even if it isn't in your conference, or maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I watch every playoff game, but that I can. But I think the Lakers and the Suns have a good storyline behind it. Suns' first time being in the playoffs in a long time. LA defending champions, had to play in the play-in game. Anthony Davis heard LeBron fighting back, trying to get his rhythm. So it's just a great storyline for basketball, and it's been a fun series to watch. Then, I have a lot of friends and stuff that played on the Suns, so good to see them rolling. Shout out to my guy Campaign too. He's having a hell of a year and a hell of a playoff run right now.
Man, he's been hitting some threes. Man, he's been
for sure. Get to the cup too.
For you, coming up in this next series, both the Celtics and Nets, whoever you get, they both run a bunch of pick and roll. And that's something where teams are always going to kind of target you on defense, like putting you in a bunch of pick and rolls. I mean, there's a couple perfect center fields that you had against Miami. I thought, do you feel like you're kind of getting more and more used to that? And kind of what do you think when teams do try to test you like that?
Just a game within a game. You just try to find the best situation possible to get the best available shot. Same thing we do on our offense. So, obviously, certain guys gonna get targeted. Just part of it. You gotta drop you gotta go out there and play with grit. And I know me, not gonna be probably in the drop. Probably be higher on the defensive coverage at the touch of the screen. So. I'm ready for it. Been, getting better on the defensive end, like I said, all year. Striving towards being, all-around complete basketball player. Just putting it together. I'm not going to be a defensive stopper ever in my career, like I say always, but if I can go out there and be active, keep my hands active, keep my feet active, and sprint the floor back on defense. I think those things could help me out.
Steve McGargy.
I'm just wondering, when you're watching the Nets-Celtics series, are you watching it just as a guy who loves basketball, or are you looking at it as a future opponent of one of these teams and looking to see what you might find? Obviously, you've faced both these teams a few times already, and you're going to be watching a lot of film before the series starts. But when you're watching the games on TV, do you think about it looking ahead, or are you just watching it as a fan?
Both. When you sit on your couch and you sit back, I watch their defensive coverages. They switch everything, every pick and roll they switch, and the bottom man switches out and they kick them out. Watch that. But as a basketball fan, it's kind of fun to watch guys, score the basketball. It's fun for TV. Obviously they have, a lot of great players. Both teams do. They can feel the basketball, love feel the goal, love with a lot of points. And it's just fun to watch, man, just being a fan of the game. Student of the game, man, always good to just, see things differently. Obviously, playoff basketball is different. You can key in on your opponent a lot more, playing them, time after time. So I think it's a mixture of both for me.
Lori Nickel.
Hey, Bobby. I think a lot of fans appreciated what you did in the Miami game with the technical foul, which you called was the cheapest tech that you ever got called for on Twitter. But yeah. Have you developed a rapport with the Antetokounmpo brothers? I think I see you talking with Thanasis, a lot, especially when he was playing. And if so, it's not your role defined to like, quote unquote, defend anybody, but maybe you've developed this team chemistry already where you would step in.
I've been doing that my whole career though.
Yeah, okay.
I've never been the guy that's like really shied away from that. Always been, somebody hard fouls my teammate, always be the one to be there, especially if I'm on the court. If you're off the court, you really can't do nothing. Want to step on the court, you get fined, you get suspended or whatever. But if you're on the court, obviously, that's just the game within the game. That's how you let people know that you're there and let people know that, we're not going for that. So, that's just part of it. And that's just how I was just taught to play basketball.
Was Giannis thankful at all? Did he say anything or express anything to you?
Yeah, but that's kind of like more of an in-house thing that we do, more of a team thing, brotherhood thing. So, he just knows that he got people that got his back.
Thank you.
Hortensia Johnson.
Kind of building off of Lori's question, when PJ was talking about the team has dogs now, I kind of read that as people not maybe willing to be nice. And please disagree with me if you do, but I kind of group you in there as well. What does like someone like you or PJ with that kind of mentality, how does that help a team kind of get over the hump with the Bucks?
I'm not really just trying to be buddy with nobody on the floor. I'm going up there trying to do my job, come off the bench, bring energy, try to rebound the basketball at a high level, try to put the ball in the hole as many times as I can while I'm out there, and go back and sit down. Whether I'm playing 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however minutes I'm playing, I'm just playing my role. And when it's a hard foul or whatever, stepping in and just letting people know that we're here. There's been times where in this league where people can sense where certain guys are scared. They can smell blood. I don't think you can smell blood on this team.
And is that your personality, or do you credit someone with teaching you that's the way that you want to play basketball?
No, this is who I am as a man in the world. I'm not going. Just go out there and I give 110% when I'm out there. No matter if I miss a shot, whatever it is. When you watch me play, I play hard, and I just give my all to the team, to the name on the front of the jersey. And when I'm out there, I just want guys to feel us. And I think guys have been feeling us here lately.
Thank you.
Stephanie Sutton.
Yeah, I was wondering how much the pros and cons are. What are the pros and cons to have this much time off between your two series, especially since you guys were so hot in the first series?
Pros is get a lot of rest, see some family, practice, get the rhythm, lock in on some of their games that they played. They played Game 4 in Boston, got to watch that. Play Game 5 tonight in Brooklyn, get to watch that. But the cons is having a long time off and playing a team that's played a couple of days ago. They still have their rhythm, things like that. So I think that's the cons to it. But I think that we're rolling, we're ready to go, whoever we play. And just being locked in, that's the biggest key to it all. Everybody just doing their job, playing their roles to the T, and just being ready whenever your number's called. Never know when coach is going to throw you in there. So just try to stay ready and, go out there and do your job.
All right, last one to Jim Ozarski.
Hey, Bobby, you mentioned watching teams fill it up a little bit. Do you think you guys led the league in scoring, and I think the first team since the mid-'80s to score 120 a game. Do you think, though, your offense is a little underrated as a squad, like in terms of – because there's so much emphasis, you guys talk about defense all the time, that I wonder if people know that you've, as a team, have filled it up that much all season long.
Nah, we kind of just flew under the radar a lot, but, I think that's the beauty of, I think, the last couple of years. It's been Bucks this, Bucks that, Bucks, number one team, Bucks, MVPs, Bucks, whatever. It's always been Bucks, and the expectations has been so high for the Bucks. I think that we flown under the radar this year, and this has just been perfect for us just to go out there and just play basketball and just have fun and enjoy the game, enjoy each other, play for each other, enjoy each other's success. I think that's the biggest thing with us, and it's been fun this year just playing like that. Everybody's unselfish. A different night, somebody can score 30, somebody can score 20. So, I think people have seen that, and, as the lights get brighter during the playoffs. So, I don't think it's gone under the radar now that, every game we've probably played in the playoff, we scored, 120, 115 or something like that besides the first game. But I think we're ready to roll, and, we have a chip on our shoulder, a log on our shoulder, and we're ready just to go out there and hoop.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it.
Hey, Coach, at the beginning of the season, it was clear that there was more offensive rebounding compared to seasons prior. And now I'm wondering, months later, how impactful you think those efforts were in the first round, those offensive rebounding efforts.
Yeah, it was important. We need to find ways to score. We need to find ways to get extra opportunities, and the players, their effort, their competitiveness. It's, sometimes offensive boards is just putting that effort in. And we got to continue to do that going forward.
And I think it's been about 2 weeks since you all announced Thanasis' injury. How's his recovery going? Any updates on that end?
Yeah, he's progressing well. I think, on a timeline close to what we expected. He's doing more each day. I think we'll see how he responds to today. He didn't have any contact, but I think he did the most, if not all of the non-contact parts of practice. And I think, that next step will be contact, and, just continue to hope he responds and is moving in the right direction.
Jim Ozarski.
I think it was 2 weeks ago, you wondered if 5 days off was too much. You're in the midst of either 6 or maybe 8, I think, depending what goes on tonight. So how did maybe the last stretch inform you and your staff for this week in terms of, either setting up practices or breaking down film? I know you don't really have an opponent yet, but could you build off that knowing you had, a bye week again?
Yeah, I think in some ways it's very, very close to what we had heading into the first round. Really, we ended up not playing that last Sunday, our heavy minute guys, our main rotation guys. So, those 9 guys really got last Sunday off, and then Monday was off, and then had a hard practice Tuesday. And so this timing and this schedule, very similar, Sunday off, Monday off. Had a good hard practice today. We'll figure out what we're going to do tomorrow, have another practice on Thursday, and then Friday and play Saturday. So, not literally, but very close to the same schedule that we had leading into round 1. And so I think the players kind of understand the rhythm of it, responded well to it. And where appropriate, we'll just, kind of do it again.
Giannis after the series talked a little bit about, defending Jimmy and just sort of the effort that takes, to do that defensively and then have offensive responsibilities. Obviously, Chris and Drew also do this. How did you, now that you've had a couple of days to look back at that, maybe gather the sports science stuff, how did they react to playing those amount of minutes, having that sort of stress, that offensive, defensive kind of stress, guarding the best players, having to score? Because it is a little different in terms of their minutes workload this year. So I'm just wondering, as you look back at that, how did it go? How'd you feel they came out of it physically, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think they came out of it physically, mostly really, in a good place. There's stretches of playoff basketball where both teams are, feeling it, and your execution can suffer, both mentally and, just the attention to detail. But, there were a lot of good stretches where our guys took the extra minutes, played and executed. We had a close first game, down at halftime in game 4. So I think they understand that, it's playoff time. They got to do whatever it takes, including playing more minutes and the focus and the effort that it takes to do that.
Hortensia Johnson.
Sorry. When it comes to PJ and Bobby, how important to a team's success is it for you to have players who, for lack of a better term, don't take shit from anybody?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a toughness that's, come with, Bobby Portis, with PJ Tucker. I think our group is built that way much more than probably it's maybe given credit for or understood. But anytime you can add guys like PJ Tucker and Bobby Portis that have a real toughness to them on both ends of the court, willingness to play the right way, a competitiveness. You need more and more guys like that. The competitive nature of your group is important, and you need it from everybody.
Have you seen that those two kind of rub off on the players who were on the team for at least the past 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of, both of their games that are kind of infectious, their passion, but like I said, I think this group, it's been great to add both Bobby and PJ. And, I think they understand, how we play and what's important to us and our priorities and things like that. So it's been a really good fit, both directions, I think.
Thank you.
Yep.
Eric Name.
When PJ was talking about that idea, he used the term dogs, as in the team is full of dogs. And then he said that Drew is the quietest dog he's ever met or played with. So I'm curious for you, I know we think about like Bobby and PJ as those guys, but I'm curious, how has Drew kind of affected competitiveness, how you guys get after defensively, physicality, like all of those things?
Yeah, almost every way you could imagine, but, I think the thing that stands out the most is his on-ball defense, his ability to get through screens. At the end of the day, he's hard to screen. He's hard to get by. You got to keep the ball in front of you. You got to be ready to play pick and roll defense. And he does that with great physicality, with great effort. He just has a knack. He has a strength that makes him special. And he just does it in a very workmanlike way that I think, is much appreciated by his teammates, certainly by, myself and the coaching staff. And yeah, I mean, he brings a physicality and a strength to the defensive end of the court and the offensive end of the court that's important.
I know the other week we were talking to Giannis about adding the dunker and kind of how that has changed things for him. And I joked that it's kind of turned into a stop sign for him, that he can't go so fast that he's going to get offensive fouls. And he said, I'm just getting older. That's why I'm going slower, Eric. But I'm curious for you, like, how have you seen him, like that entire series, he didn't really deal with foul trouble. Like that wasn't something that he dealt with. Just what have you seen from him and his maturity not to either pick up fouls on the defensive end or pick them up on the offensive end?
Yeah, I mean, I think particularly, defensively, the discipline that it takes, stay down on pump fakes, to, not grab and hold in screening situations. He's going to need to do that again in this series. Just you play NBA basketball, he gets matched up on different guys. I think, his growth defensively in that way has been important to us. And then offensively, I think he's just seen the game, better. I think he understands when and how to pick his spots. And, he knows he's got lots of outlets. He's got lots of people that are a threat to catch and score, whether it's threes or layups in the dunker. And he just takes advantage of them all.
Lori Nickel.
When it comes to shooting and making shots, Bryn Forbes said all the right things. He said his teammates deserve all the credit, but I'm pretty sure he hit a 3-pointer off the glass a couple of games ago. Obviously, it's a great touch. What do you like, though, about him, what he does before he takes the shot, the work that he does leading up to his shot?
Yeah, I mean, the way he moves away from the ball is pretty special. His feet, he's got really, really good footwork and special. It's a little hard to articulate, but I just if you've watched shooters and shooting and how he can get his feet set and get into a shot, is elite. It's high level. So I think, and then obviously, he's got a beautiful stroke, but his movement and his footwork and ability to get his feet kind of into the right spots, the right just kind of combination is elite.
When you get on him for anything, what is it? Or is it always defense?
No, there's actually times when I really, I think he can shoot more threes. I think he can play behind the line more. He's an incredible shooter, and I just, sometimes just stay on him and encourage him to shoot more. And he's been good, but he's got a little bit off the dribble too. That's been a nice change up for him. And he's rebounding, he's competing defensively. We're always pushing him on that end, just like everybody else. So, he just needs to keep working on everything.
Thank you.
Darius Joshua.
How you doing, Coach? Obviously, when you're going from series to series, the opponents change and the matchups change and all that. I'm wondering, as you don't know who your opponent is yet, do you take ideas from that previous Heat series, things that you did well, or is it starting fresh, waiting to see who you face?
I would say there's a little bit of both. There's some things that are just fundamental to good basketball, fundamental to us, being good defensively, that are going to be important no matter who you play. And similarly offensively. But in the same breath, there'll be some things that are just, very unique and very a series and an opponent will take on their own life. And you've got to be ready for that and understand, what's important, what your priorities are as you move forward.
Is it already kind of breaking down some Celtics, some Nets, or is it just waiting till you dive in before you actually know officially who the opponent is?
No, there's a lot of film being watched of both teams.
All right, one more to Stephanie Sutton.
Hi, Coach. I was just wondering, what is your reaction to the unruly fans in the stands lately during NBA games, and how concerned are you about your players' safety on the court and walking off the court?
Yeah, there's no place for what's happened in our league multiple times over the last, I guess since the playoffs started. And it's just, we love our fans. We appreciate them. We want them. It's been great to have them back in the stadium and the arena, but the respect and the ability to kind of, cheer for your team and not cross the line or do anything that's disrespectful or just inappropriate. We're just hoping for the best going forward, that, it doesn't happen again. And always concerned for our players' safety. What they do on the court is special and amazing. And hopefully everybody respects and appreciates it. And, the NBA can be the great sport, for the fans and for everybody that it's been for a long time.
Thanks, Bud.
Thank you, guys.